the sun is high, we're feeling good. In Miami where the spirit's understood. With Bobby Fins Talk leading the crew, we're gonna show you what these Dolphins do. Fins up high, the crowds roaring loud. In the city with the blue and aqua proud. FinStanza's here with the play-by-play. We're getting ready, it's game day. Are you ready for some football? Miami Dolphins standing tall. Are you ready for some football? Showtime at the Hard Rock, y'all. From the tailgate to the field of green, with the best fans you ever seen. Bobby's got the scoop, hot off the press. In Miami, we roar to impress. Play your stats and pregame chat.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FinsTalk Sports Network Miami Dolphins pregame show. I'm one of your co-hosts, FinStanza. Bobby FinsTalk will join us in a little bit. A few other guests as well. But with me, as always, for the third week in a row, my buddy Sammy. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, we're doing good. We're gonna poop a lot of Mama Daniel today since Bobby's not here to defend it.
Oh,
So
we can go
let's do it. We have a half an hour. We hope
Oh,
Bobby's here,
this is
so
awesome.
let's do
This is
it.
awesome. And maybe if Alex joined, and I don't know what, I've never had the chance to meet Eddie, but I'm not sure what his perspective is. But I guess I'll get to learn that a little bit also. But guys, welcome. It's only been 96 hours or so or more since the debacle on Sunday by the Miami Dolphins. What a week it's been, Sammy. I must tell you, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the game, but honestly, I wanted to get your perspective. As bad as the team looked the first 2 weeks, and guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Enjoy the show. We're gonna talk about everything. We'll have some shows on the weekend as well. But Bobby, and Sammy.
No vaccines. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so kerfuffled because of how this team is. I thought the Dolphins were bad on the field, but I must say there's one thing that is worse than the performance on the field. It is their performance at the podium. And I was actually listening. It was funny. I was thinking about that. And then Jim Rome, I don't know if you ever watched Jim Rome. Boy, did he go to task on the Miami Dolphins. The line of the week. In order to win, you have to win. If you lose, you can't win. And they go, what is he talking about? And then you have Waddle talking about rat poison, and you have Tyreek, who's Mr. Positive all of a sudden. Tua talking about how Josh Allen he's not half the player Josh Allen is, and he can't do half. That's really interesting. So let me ask you, with everything you've seen this week leading up to this game, before you even think about the game, what have you experienced this week from the media, who's taking the Dolphins to task and think we're a laughing stock? But at the same time, what is coming out of these guys' mouths this week?
Well, I said before that I don't think there's a team, even a city in the league, where the national media finds a way to crap as hard, as badly as they do to Miami. They don't do it that the way they express themselves, the venom, the words they use. They do that with Miami. I don't see it anywhere else. I don't know. It's because the Heat and the Dolphins used to beat in New York so many times in the past that they're still bitter or something. I don't know. But it's funny you say about the podium, because I had to take you to task too, because I told you the other day that I wish Tua was not as honest. And this week, I was right, because, like I said, it would have been better if he wasn't as honest. He doesn't know how to lie, because I wish he would have been not as honest.
How do you say that about yourself?
Listen, it's good to respect the opponent. Put some videotapes on VHS of Dan Marino, John Elway, and Gene Kelly talking about each other, because that's basically a master class and how to respect your opponent. Because saying that he's half the player, Josh Allen says, okay, let's do this. Let's take a pay cut and take the salary half of Josh Allen has. We'll be okay. If you take half of the salary, everything's good. And I love Tua, I defend him, but man, that really, good friend of this TV, Amanda Salguero, said today that, camaraderie and respect, yes, for sure. That's what he was trying to do. But for sure, that's not the way it came out, because no. It left a sour taste in my mouth, the way he said it. Only because the situation of the team right now. If we were winning, if we were 2-0, when he says that, he would look as humble. When you're 0-2, you look like you're lost. So it matters what you say at the podium. It matters. And by now we know Mike McDaniel, he cannot take his foot out of his mouth. He's trying to be cute, and when you're winning again, like I said, when you're winning, everything looks positive. It looks great. It's funny, it's charming. But when you're losing, you look like a goof. And Mike Daniel sometimes this week, a couple of times when he opened his mouth, looked like a goof.
When he was asked about Darren Waller, which once again, unbelievable that you trade Johnny Smith, you go get Darren Waller, and you have no tight end to support Tua, is absolutely deplorable. When no one asked him about Darren Waller, I forwarded this to a couple of people, and I said, do you understand a word he's saying? I lose track because he says so many things that have nothing to do with what the question was. And if you even notice more and more, every time someone asks the guy a question, he doesn't look at them because he's trying to, he's ad-libbing, and he's trying to just get away from not having to answer the question. But what the interesting part about the whole week was, in terms of what they were talking about, is this is what people like to say. There's 0-2 where you're Kansas City and they're close games, and that's 0-2 where you can maybe recover. These are very bad, hard losses. And then on top of that, there's first off the players meeting, and then you have Mike McDaniel coming to the podium looking completely disheveled. And I don't want to put it on him, and I've never said this, but anyone who's not a Dolphins fan honestly think there's something that is wrong with Mike McDaniel. He looks disheveled. He doesn't look right. He looks exhausted. He looks confused. Some people might say that he's on something, which I will never say because I know he's recovering.
I don't think that's the case.
But he looks completely lost. He looks completely confused. Tua, I believe people are convinced that the concussions are coming to him because he's so honest and saying things that no one would actually say. Sometimes it's better to lie than to tell the truth. Thank you, Tua. And then it's just the negativity coming from it. It's just they're their own worst enemy, Sam. Like, it's really they don't know when to not speak.
I don't know. I have nothing against the media communications of the Dolphins, but this being a recurrent problem for the last couple of years. I don't know if they want them to be, genuine, maybe too much genuine, but in public relations, sometimes you have to prep your people, and you have to tell them, listen, I know you want to talk about this, but it's probably not your best interest to address it. This is the way to address it. And, Tua, I've said it before, Tua has a media team with the representation. But every big representation firm has a communications area and a everything presentation area. They're coaches. They want to. They will, and the team does that too. So there's no excuse. Again, I told you, Tua doesn't know how to lie. And when you're genuine and you're winning or you're okay, it's one thing. But when you're losing, everything is magnified. And Mike McDaniel too. Mike McDaniel, you can see it in the sideline. The camera was there on Sunday, and he went like, I've never seen that on Mike McDaniel, because he's being accustomed to be in control of the team, and he knows the pressure is there. And I truly believe that he really believed that things will be better, that we probably will beat the Colts, and we could have beaten the Patriots, but lost focus, the decisions, the penalties, the things bad teams do, and that's on him. Unfortunately, that's on him. That there's no other way to say it. That's on Mike McDaniel. So I'm pretty sure he knows the pressure. We don't know the conversation that they're having in the building. If he knows what Steven Ross is thinking, if he feels Chris Greer is going to throw him under the bus, because Tobin said I think it was Tobin who said on Fins TV on Tuesday that Chris Greer can say, listen, Steven, we wanted so and so and so and so. We had to settle with Mike McDaniel, but we're good. If we shame Mike McDaniel, we can keep going, baby. That's what he said. Like, Chris Greer might have a case just because we all know we had to settle on Mike McDaniel because that was the first choice, the second choice, probably not the third choice. We don't know. And he was never a coach, and that's the result we're having. I've never seen a coach with so little experience take the league by storm like Mike McDaniel did, winning instantly, having a great first half of the first year, but that sets the expectations high. Then the expectation is that we have to win. And when you're not winning, the pressure's on. And Matt McDaniel is really the pressure for sure.
I've said this so many times to Bobby and to everybody else.
Eddie's
Eddie, I'm going to join you in just 1 minute after I make this comment. Mike McDaniel was the right coach at the wrong time, meaning that if you and I would not be on the Mike McDaniel poop train if he was hired in 2019. He was that guy who was given the reins in 2022 when Brian Flores did a lot of the grunt work, and then he was given Tyreek Hill, and he was given Teron Armstead in that group, and Tyreek Hill in the first year in that group, and he was given players to build with, and the expectations were high. Unfortunately, you want to go from year 1 to year 4. His year 1 should be now. Year 4 should be 2022, 2023. Like, that's the problem. He did everything in reverse.
Yes.
So,
that's
anyways,
right.
we're going to take a moment. It's an honor and an opportunity to be here with Eddie. So I'm just going to fix up the graphic just over here so we can bring in Eddie. Eddie, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Nice to meet you.
You too.
For those who don't know, Eddie's my partner, my tag team partner, my co-host on Fins TV Extra. Fins TV Extra usually on this channel on Thursday at 7 p.m. But since we have a game, we join forces with the pregame show we're doing.
Since some people may not be new to Fins Talk TV Extra because it's a smaller network we like to piggyback on, we're trying to build that as well for extra content. Eddie, why don't you just take a moment to introduce yourself to the people at FTSN, because it's a pleasure to have you on the network, hopefully for now and in the future.
All right. My name's Eddie. I live in Rockledge, Florida, which is near where all the spaceships go up, in case they're near SpaceX. Been a Dolphin fan for 55 years, my entire life. So, unfortunately, I was too young when they were really good, and getting old, and they're still going nowhere now. My dad's been through everything with them. Yeah.
And you've already gotten a nice compliment on your beard. I think we'll have to have a beard contest between him and Brett. That will be a nice little contest. Have both of you on there. I don't think Sammy and I could grow it that far. I don't think we have the patience, Sammy, to grow it that far.
I might have to go to Party City and buy a beard.
Oh, do they have a Party City in San Juan? Do they have a Party City?
Yes, they have. And the next time in Guaynabo, the next time over here. So yes, they have a couple of parties here. So we have everything over here. You know.
Okay. So Eddie, since you haven't had the chance, obviously on this network, to look back, I know you've had one show on the FinStalk TV Extra, FTSN Extra, but give us your reflection on. We started the show talking about how it's been a hard 0-2 start for the season for the Miami Dolphins. First game was a debacle. Second game was probably harder because the game was within their grasp, and everything we expect reared its ugly head in those last 2 drives. It was like our worst nightmare coming true. But then also Sammy, we're talking about as bad as they've been on the field, I think they've been actually worse at the podium in terms of what Tua and McDaniel has been spewing. So give us your feedback so far after 2 games in the year, what you've been hearing this week coming out of their mouths, what the media has been saying about this team. Give us your overall perspective.
All right. First off, we'll start with the Colts game. That was just absolutely, they were just unprepared, uninspired. They were everything you do not want to be for a football game. And I don't know, the team that they're fielding is really bad. It starts at the GM, and it goes to who I've been a big supporter of, McDaniel, to him not having the plays in on time, or the players not going the right way. I don't know if it's the players that just aren't being held accountable. I mean, I keep reading new things where they are accountable this year, but it hasn't shown on the field, that's for sure. You have Tua missing wide open guys, as you can see is my background. I got the wide open tight end that would have been a first down instead of the interception. But anyways, besides that point, I don't know. I am lost with this team this year. I didn't expect much. I thought maybe 9-8, but I don't even see that now. I mean, I guess we'll see. They better come out and fight tonight, because if not, they're all gone. I hope. It all starts with that owner and him being too loyal to everybody. That's my take on it.
So I was actually going to bring that up. So Stephen Ross, I think, is too nice of a guy. And I think because he's of his old age, he's making a fortune of money in Miami. I think he's tried too hard to win before, going to get Harbaugh, then when Sparano was still at the job, then he tried to get the tampering with Peyton and with Brady. But then the whole thing happened with Flores, and I think the whole thing I've been saying for years is that the issue with Greer is less, I think, about his is more about he knows where the bodies are buried, and everyone's been talking about that. Is it have to do anything with the Flores lawsuit? We all know he's a big problem on this network. No one's been hard. Everyone on this network is very hard on Chris Greer. Me and Sammy are very, very hard on Mike McDaniel. The question in your mind, and I'll ask both of you straight up: if this team gets destroyed today, and I mean absolutely gassed, like they are out, do you see it both exploding, one or McDaniel just being the scapegoat, or do you actually see this going past week 4, like up to week 4? Like, what is your gut telling you? What is your gut telling you about what has to happen tonight? Because I actually posted on X today, and Sammy saw it. Is that am I wrong to want them to lose tonight so bad, so something gives? Because if they do win this game, people are going to get that false hope that, oh, all of a sudden we beat the Bills, everything's okay. Well, the Bills are missing Ed Oliver and Matt Milano, and maybe someone, and who knows what an injury could happen to the game. So give me your perspective. Eddie can go first, and Sammy. Like, what is your expectations overall, like on Steve Ross? What is he thinking about tonight?
If they get destroyed, you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
If they got destroyed tonight, I don't know if he'd do anything, but my gut would say Greer would bury McDaniel. It'd say it's him. I gave him everything he needs, and that would be the first chip to fall. It would be McDaniel, and he'd keep Greer, which is actually the opposite of what you should do during the season. You should just get rid of both. If you're going to get both, that way you got a head start. But my gut says scapegoat McDaniel if they lost by a lot tonight.
Sammy?
I said it already. I don't think Steven Russell is going to fire my dad during the season. I know this is the unpopular belief, but I think he's going to stick with my Daniel for the whole season. Just because of the fact I think he likes my Daniel. He's going to say, let's evaluate at the end of the year, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He brought my Daniel to his house. He's the one who gave him that contract. He's responsible for it. So I don't think he's going to fire him. I think he's going to make it play the season. And on the if you will be wrong about rooting for the Dolphins to be destroyed, I would not do that. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but yeah, I would not do that. I want to win. Yeah. I want to win. This fan base deserves a win. It will be a miracle like any other if the Dolphins find a way to win. It's going to go into the annals of Dolphins history at the biggest upset probably in the last 20, 25 years. Of course, the odds are against it, but I don't expect the Dolphins win. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to spoil it before we go to that part of the show. But even so, it will be painful for me to watch the Dolphins get destroyed tonight. So my mind doesn't even concede the fact of trying to think the Dolphins will get destroyed. My mind, is he going to get fired? He's going to get fired regardless of if they get destroyed or not tonight. So I'm going to root for the Dolphins. I'm going to hope the Dolphins find a way to keep it respectable before Al Michaels falls asleep in the middle of the third quarter, and it is what it is.
Do you guys feel like if tomorrow, let's say they even lose by 2 touchdowns, and because this is the mini bye, because they can't wait for week 12 if they're actually going to consider making a change. So I think this is their only opportunity to really make a change, because unlike after the Jets game, they only have a week, right? They have less than a week. They have 6 days between both games. Here they have over 10 days because they're actually not playing until Monday night, if I recall, right? They're not playing Sunday, right? I remember? It's a night game, isn't it?
Yes, Monday night.
Monday night. So he literally has like a mini bye. So would you be, if they decide to actually, because one thing Steve Ross has never done is he's never gone scorched earth, or he's never gotten rid of both. But if, let's say they made the decision and Ross has already had the conversation with Chris Greer saying, if we don't turn this around tonight, I'm going to move you to somewhere else in the organization, and we're going to let Marvin Allen take over and Darrell Bevel or someone like that, because I definitely don't want Anthony Weaver. I've come to that conclusion. I really don't want Anthony Weaver. I want someone who's actually experienced with being a little bit of a head coach for the rest of the year to figure out what we have. And Marvin Allen's been an executive for many years, because they're not going to go out and find someone who's equitable right now. They can't turn that around that quickly. Would that be okay? So, like, would you be okay? Are you going to be upset if they just fire McDaniel, or will you be a little more relieved if they actually removed both between now and within the next couple days? Would you be okay with it? Even if they lost by a touchdown? Like, let's say just Ross just said, I need a fresh start. We still have a chance. Oh, we see we're getting closer, but we're still not there. We need a swift kick, and I don't think these guys are the ones to do it. So maybe someone else can do it, and we can still survive the season. Versus being, oh my God, there's no chance because we get destroyed. Like, anything can happen. But what would be your ideal situation if they were to make a change? Scorched earth, right?
For me, it would be everybody. Yeah.
But would that mean would you still have like a bit of anger or frustration if Greer still was within the organization? Because I have a feeling even if he does move, they won't fire him. They're going to move him. They'll have to shift him somewhere.
If they stuck him somewhere, I'd be all right. As long as he didn't have any say over the personnel decisions.
Sammy?
I don't think Chris Greer is going to get fired. He's going to get promoted like that janitor on Seinfeld. They kept promoting to get out of the way. But I don't think they're going to get fired. No. Stephen Ross is 74 years old. He's not young. The times he's tried to do some kind of a shuffle in the front office or the coaching staff has not gone smoothly. He's very, very successful in his other business ventures. But as far as the Dolphins, he doesn't know how to do this properly. You know, I don't burn on Stephen Greer on Greer. I'm sorry, on Stephen Ross like most Dolphin fans does, because I know he's not a great hands-on owner, but you know there's so many teams that the Bengals wish they had a owner like Stephen Ross who will spend the money when it's needed, the best facilities, everything. You know, he's done so many great things for Miami, for the city, for the fans. Even when we complain, it's true that he's done something for the stadium. He's done so many great things. Yeah. The problem with him is how he works with the front office. Is he too loyal? Is he doesn't know what he's doing? Is he too much out in New York and not here to know the insides and outs of the team, and that has caused the team? But you know that's a fact because we all know that's true. But he's 73 years old.
He's 85 now.
75.
85.
85.
85. He looks good for 85.
He looks great. He looks better than Vince McMahon. So you know he looks great. Yeah. But you know it's hard. Any age, it's hard for me as a Dolphins fan just to fathom the idea that we have to go to another rebuild. The Eddie says probably takes 4 years. I don't know. Hopefully it will take 4 years. Let's say it takes 4 more years of starting again with the rebuild after we had all the chips and didn't make it work.
I'm not convinced it's a rebuild. I really don't.
And the man is here. But, you know, it's hard. It's hard for me as a fan. I can only imagine what Stephen Ross is thinking of embarking on another rebuild.
Yeah,
it must be hard for him.
I want you guys to answer this question. What's a respectable record for Mike to keep his job? Let me give some framework to that. I don't define it as a record. For me, Brian Flores has done overall record-wise. If you do the math, almost has. If you take away the 5-11 in terms of after that bad start, he's had bigger turnarounds than Daniel. I think it's the quality. I think it's the quality of the wins. I think it's the quality of what he's done with what he has. I think that's been the biggest difference. I'll let Bobby answer that question too to get him in. Guys, our founder is here.
Our time is up.
Good job. The only advantage, Bobby, the only sad part about you being here is I've done a lot less talking in the last 24 minutes. Now you're going to allow me to go on these tangents where Sammy said take out the popcorn. So the floor is yours. You can lead off with the question that was just asked by Only Real Survive, and then you can get back into the show and you can be the host, boss.
Well, first off, hello, and thank you for starting it off before me, guys. I apologize. I'm a little late running home. So, Sammy, good to see you. FinStanza, Eddie, finally good to see you, sir.
You too.
I have to say, Bobby, Evan did a great job.
I heard. I was listening on the way home. I was listening to you guys. I heard you guys said, "Oh, we got 30 minutes before Bobby comes in here." I heard it all. Like, all right, okay.
Bobby,
No, but
what is your thought on that? Like, I'd love for you to start.
Oh,
with that
what's a respectable record for McDaniel to keep his job? Is that the question being asked?
Yeah. Okay. What would you think of that? Like, what would you consider a respectable record in your mind? I don't think it has anything to do with the record.
Yeah, that's only. I guess that question's only is good. First off, thank you for tuning in and asking the question. Only the real survive. Appreciate you watching the Fins Talk Pregame Show here in FTSN. It's a great question. I think though that's a question for if McDaniel survives the season. If Ross is saying, okay, McDaniel's not going to get fired until the end of the year, what's a respectable record for him to keep his job? There's two answers. There's my answer, and then I guess there's the quote-unquote realistic answer. My answer would be he has, I don't want to just, because I could see Miami falling into the playoffs if that's McDaniel keeps his job and Miami wins just enough games to get to the playoffs and go to the wild card, and then they get eliminated. For him to keep his job, he can't just fall into the playoffs. He can't just get to the playoff game. He has to win a playoff game. That's my answer. For him to keep his job, he has to not only get to the playoffs, he has to win a game in the playoffs. But that's only if he survives this week. If they lose, which I'm assuming most of us believe they will, and of course they'll win this game just because we keep everyone saying they're going to lose it, just the way it works. But for me, for a respectable thing would be winning a playoff game. Eddie, what do you think? What would be a respectable record for McDaniel to have to keep his job?
Real life or Stephen Ross life?
That's
the thing.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, if he got him to the playoffs this year with that roster, I'd keep him because that roster is built horribly. It's not built right. I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent on Greer. Let's get off of that. I'm sorry. But
it's welcome on.
I want to see it, Eddie. Bring it, Eddie. Come on, I want to see it.
Sorry, I've procedure today. Stuck a camera down my throat. I can't yell. It's I don't know. If he did get him to the playoffs, keep him. I don't care if they got blown out in the playoffs. That means you win in 9-10 games with a roster that's already on their 8th offensive lineman, a team that had to reach for a draft pick in the first round because you didn't want to sign anybody, because I think they're really doing a soft reset financially and the way they're trying to do things. And for me, I would move on from him, even if he had a winning record. It's just, I think it's time to change, because I think they need more than just a coach change. They need coaches changed and a certain player changed at quarterback. And I don't think he'd go anywhere with McDaniel or Greer.
I think you just put it great. I know I'm frozen there. I'll change me in a second. First off, Ken, I see you, man. Great to see you, brother. Updated your name, so great to see you. Dan Steely, awesome, brother. Wins the last time an 11.5 underdog, won outright in the NFL. Let's see here. Ray Finkel in the house. 10 wins he says is a respectable number. Adrian, what's up? Adrian in the Rainy Day podcast. Does he even call the shots? Ross is 85. Revo 13. Let me update. Alex will be joining us shortly.
You want me to take over while you come in and out?
Yeah, go right ahead, sir.
Okay, so Sammy, your turn. So overall, in your perspective, being as much of a McDaniel, let's say, hater as much as I am, what would be for you something that would turn you around on Mike McDaniel, where you and I would have to come on this network and go on a Fins TV, FinStalk Sports Network apology tour to apologize to Mike McDaniel? You're on mute. Your microphone's not working.
There you go.
No, you're back off.
Then you're back on mute.
What's wrong with this crap? Okay.
Mike McDaniel must be controlling your mic.
Yeah, the Dolphins are again. They're after us again, like the other day when they froze our internet on the Fins Favorite podcast. Well, I'm not a Mike McDaniel hater. I'm a Mike McDaniel non-believer. I have to say the same thing.
I'm the hater.
Yes, you're a proud hater, but I don't want to categorize that as a hater.
He's a hater.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Eddie, I'm worse. I'm way
Oh,
worse.
I know. I've seen you. Don't worry.
I'm way worse.
I'm not a hater. So, okay, there are a couple of avenues to this. There's the avenue of first what probably with a cold head should be done. For the Dolphins to retain Mike McDaniel, he will have to find a way to turn the ship completely, look cohesive, make the playoffs, and win a game. That will be that's the gold standard. Not including winning tonight, not including making the playoffs after an 0-2 start. That's a lot. They will have to find a way to ride the ship correctly into the playoffs and win a game. That's level-headed. That should say Mike McDaniel. Steven Ross, if he makes the playoffs, he's gonna have a hard decision to make, saying like, well, he made the playoffs. Everybody says that the roster's not built right, and Chris Greer gonna move on. Let's give it another try. Let's give it another year. We're tied to 2 for 2026 cap, so let's give this another run. For me to save his job, that's the tough one, because I will have to see more than Steven Ross and more than everything. It will have to be a complete change from the team we've seen on the field for the first 2 games. We have to see a cohesive team. The penalties will have to go away. We have to see a roster fighting for the job of their coach, because that says a lot to me. The players are fighting hard for him to win, and he finds a way to win a playoff. It will be hard for me to say to fire him. Because all those things, I always say the same thing with VCB. When there are too many ifs, there's a problem. There are way too many ifs. If, and let's not go even to the roster, who's faulty, like Eddie's been saying for a while now, and he made me a believer right now that the roster is completely wrongly built. So he has to overcome that. Too many ifs. I don't think there's a way Mike McDaniel can do all those ifs. I don't think he's going to fire during the season. I'm probably right now the only one who says that's not going to happen. It's not a popular opinion, but that's what I believe. I'm going to stand my ground. But it will have to be a miracle for all the things that need to happen for Mike McDaniel to survive.
You know where I stand? Doesn't stand a chance to survive. Honestly, there's nothing he could do, because he doesn't have the quarterback, which we're going to talk about right now. And maybe Bobby wants to go somewhere else as well, because we're going to bring in Alex. I don't think he has the quarterback. I don't think he has the defense. I don't think he has the ability. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Had Mike McDaniel, in all these games that he's faced against Buffalo, last year, the game in the snow, the playoff game, had he actually utilized the skill set that got him this job, which was the ability to establish the run game, then I would be a completely different hit. That was when I lost it. And when he stopped using the run and didn't adjust in that Chargers game by throwing up the middle, not going outside the numbers, that's when I lost it in year 1. Like, he hasn't converted me back because he hasn't changed. But now I will swing it back to Bobby, who could bring in Alex, and I will shut up until it's my turn.
Don't tease us with a good time. Just kidding. Sorry, guys. My camera froze up there, but Evan, of course, on fire, taking it over. And then again, I just want to welcome everyone to the FTSN pregame show, primetime edition. Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. And but we got a full all-star crew here, of course, with FinStanza, Sammy of Fins TV, Eddie of Fins TV Plus, and of course myself and Alex of East 10th Street Boys, who are usually on Thursday nights or Sunday mornings. We've just been flip-flop every time. We're like, okay, we're free. We got Thursday night. We can do it.
We're sharing our airspace.
And then Sammy and Sammy and Evan were like, no, wait a second. Thursday nights is the Dolphins Bills. I'm like, oh, son of a. Have you ever seen Resident Alien? Son of a bitch. I'm like, that's all right. I'm good. We got a good crew here. So let's welcome in Alex. Alex, you and I texted a little bit on Sunday. We usually don't during a game because you know how I am.
Yeah.
I don't like chatting, or Ralph would call me during the game. Like, we would never talk, but then he's like, he'll call me and go, oh man, what a touchdown. Then he'll say, then I'll say interception. He'll go, it was my fault. It's like, no man, it wasn't your fault. But that's the thing. It's always like, don't talk, don't text me, don't anything during the game. Let's just get to the end. But Alex texted me towards the end of the game here. It happens. But I'll read it off. Let's see. if I could find it. He goes, he goes, this is when the Dolphins were, back and forth and back, and they were on this final drive. This is Alex. He goes, are you ready? Sit back. Here's our season. Alex texts me. I go, here we go.
And a chain scores the touchdown.
He goes, I just told Jamila, his wife. He goes, then I'll say, here's the next one. Figure out what happened when he wrote me. I'll say, I'll just.
You can say it. You can just say
no, in case kids are too. F me. That's what you write to me. F me. I go, WTF? Yeah, damn left foot. So,
and it's funny because I didn't think about it, but when I sent that, I'm like, commas are important. It legit could have been interpreted as, "Hey, I told Jamila." It's like I thought it. I'm like, whoa, I got to put a comma on these things, man.
It's like, bro, I love you, man, but I know
I love you, bro. Like,
but and Eddie, Alex is my best friend, my brother. We grew up together in Hialeah. We host these 10th Street Boys together. Just giving you the heads up on that. But Alex. So you saw, you were high on this game, a little high, but you were kind of like, hey, I think we could do it. We're going to win this game. Now you saw what happened. Miami's 0-2, more than likely going to be 0-3. What are your thoughts on the season and Coach McDaniel, especially since he's on the docket? We're talking about him.
Before I respond to that, first and foremost, Eddie, pleasure meeting you. Sammy, good seeing you again. FinStanza, my man, love you, bud. Bobby, thank you for that beautiful introduction and part of my tardiness. I was just in basketball practice, but to give my quick take, it was extremely frustrating because you felt we had a fighting chance and we kind of looked like a cohesive unit there at the end for a little bit. When it's insane to me that it took us a game and a half for the defense to actually get one stop, 1 3 and out, and I was like, wow, I don't even know, should I celebrate this? I'm like, I know our defense is put together in the last 2 weeks, but I'm like, this is alarming. And Jamila's sitting next to me the whole game. And as the game is going, we get down early. I'm like, oh, man, here we go. I'm like, let's see how they respond. Remember, that was one of the keys. How do you respond to the mistakes? And I know Kurt Warner can go and break down like the last interception with Tyreek Hill and Tua. And I understand it makes sense now. But still, the miscommunications in key moments. And I understand McDaniel used some verbiage and he controlled himself with some coaches and some players, but gentlemen, this is already his 4th year. It comes to a point where I don't know when he's going to get fired. I feel that if we lose this game, there's a high possibility he gets fired after this game, and I might be anticipating a little bit, but to me, he also left open the possibility of finally giving up play calls, maybe, where he can focus more on the personnel, because he kind of alluded to, I need to be paying more attention to these sub patterns, to these in-game situations where you've mentioned many times before. You can be a very successful play caller and still be a head coach, but you need to have a proper structure in place. And it really bothers me that we have these late game situations and we take so long to communicate the play, which at this point, like I said, we're not in the huddles. I don't know if it's McDaniel communicating to Tua and he's undecisive what he wants to run. I don't know if it's Tua breaking it down to the guys. I don't know where the miscommunication happens. But when a chain stepped out of bounds, it's like the life got sucked out of you because you knew a mistake was going to happen. I believe there was a penalty right after, and it pushes you back. And then once again, getting sacked on 4th down, the elusiveness that he's missing in the pocket at times to make these plays when it breaks down, it almost feels like the Tua that we really saw a few years ago, where there was glimpses where he would just flush out of the pocket and they get him out of the pocket and he's throwing. He's a very mobile quarterback when he wanted to be. I don't know if the hip is limiting him that now, but it was just like that a chain stepping out of bounds felt like that was like your heart getting ripped out, because it was an intense back and forth for those 20 seconds when we scored and they scored. Like, you felt alive there and you're like, all right, there's a fighting chance here. The offense is going to go down and punch it in. And then that happens and you're like, wow. And if that is what is going to be remembered of us in this run, it's kind of like picture perfect when it comes to all the possibilities, but it all falters to miscommunication, mishandling certain situations, undisciplined. And you can kind of feel for McDaniel, but at this point, you can't really change who you are. So you can't rewire who you are or rewire your team. So I felt like last game was a make or break. this for sure cemented is a make or break. And I'm not even thinking about winning or losing. It's how we lose. If we get blown out, the writing's on the wall, man. If we get blown out, you need to change automatically. If you're competitive until the end, there's a fighting chance. Obviously, we're not going to like it, but it's unfamiliar territory in that aspect. Even though last year we started a little slow, there's nothing you can grasp from McDaniel right now that you can feel that the locker room is behind him, because Tua's comments didn't alleviate that. When he started talking about his staff, that's a very concerning part.
So I have to ask you, and then we'll go into the inactives, because the inactives report already came through. Okay. The comments afterwards, or the comments throughout the week, and I can let Evan go into exactly what was said, but like McDaniel, to win a game, you have to win the game. You can't lose the game. Tua talking about Josh Allen, said he could do everything I could do. He could run. He could throw it 80 yards. I wish I could do that. I wish I could be that. And I know I'm glad Sammy brought it up, because he got a point on Evan that he brought up on post game, because Evan said Tua's a liar. He said, and Sammy's like, no, he's not. That's the problem. I wish he was a liar once in a while, because he was being a little too damn honest, and you're kind of listening to him talk, and you're like, I read what he wrote. I didn't listen to what he wrote, because Evan called me. Did you see this? He called me. No, I didn't see it. I read it, and I thought it was fake. And the same thing with McDaniel, when he's like, in order to win the game, you have to win, and then you can't lose. So Alex, before we get into the inactives, you hear that, you read that. What do you? First off, your thoughts on McDaniel? Just the way he, because it's like I'm coming off a migraine, but when I read his comments, I mean, it really does pierce the brain. So you read that. What's your thoughts?
Look, like I tell you, McDaniel came out firing, and people, I love McDaniels. He's a cerebral coach. He's a great play designer. Amazing. But when it comes to the communication, the psychology now, when you're winning, a lot of things are hidden, justified in regards to your persona, how you express yourself. Now, when there's losing, when there is lack of communication, even sometimes him at the podium, he likes to, he processes a lot of things before he says them. So he takes a lot of time to respond to something. So at times it doesn't seem genuine. At times it seems that he's being too smart for himself. But when you get into those details, and I combine it with Tua's response, Tua kind of tippy-toed around not disrespecting McDaniel when he started talking about, he has to sit down with Coach and Frank and the offensive personnel. I don't want to say they've lost confidence in McDaniel full-heartedly, but obviously there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of doubt within that team right now. And there's that hovering about Anthony Weaver, that obviously Anthony Weaver is a leader of men. People respect him. Even though his defense is struggling, I can understand that could be personnel. They're getting used to one another. That's fine. But there is something there that I don't know. And I kind of came in and I heard it about Tua surviving or without McDaniel, or they're come together. Like, obviously, to me, if you're going to move on and you're going to clean house, you have to restart this whole thing. You can't keep one of the three pieces, because McDaniel was hired basically to be Tua's coach. How can you fix Tua? That's what McDaniel got the job. And we talked about this, Bobby, last time on our show, where if McDaniel was hired before Tua was drafted, would Tua Tagovailoa been his overall his quarterback pick? And that's something that I don't think particularly he could have been. So they're tied at the hip. But my situation now, McDaniel looks frustrated on the sidelines. I don't know if he's frustrated with his own indecisions at times, with his lack of adjustments. Like you mentioned, we're one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. Aren't we like top 5 in rushing in the NFL? Yards per carry? Something like that, right? I'm like, how do you go away from something that before that was a knock? He doesn't run the football. Now we have an actual productive running back room, and we don't use them correctly. You don't use your personnel correctly. And now, before what was simple mistakes, now they're magnified, and even we come to expect them every moment we have momentum. Before, I think it was one of the comments, Ray said it perfectly. You felt the confidence that the moment our offense got the ball, we could score at any moment. We felt it. You felt it after that Chargers game, And after that Ravens game, we felt that there was no one that could stop us. They figured him out. They took Tua. They took the middle away from Tua. You have so much offensive talent. There is no way humanly possible that within the scheme of your offense, this offense cannot be productive with all the weapons that you have. So I'm honestly at a loss of words. Coming from the coaching tree, I can understand when teams are frustrated with their head coach and you might lose one or two players. But when all this is mounting up, plus you add the pressure from the fans, plus the pressure from the front office, because they know that even, like you mentioned, Eddie, this is a soft reset, and everybody knows that. It's not spoken, but everybody knows this is a soft reset. We're 1 or 2 years away from completely removing from Tua, and we have a young core that you start from fresh with a brand new head coach. But that gap, how do you bridge that right now? If you lose this game, how do you justify continuing with this coaching staff? Like, I don't think you can. I don't think you wait for the bye week. Like, I think you have to make a move early if you want any possible chance of salvaging the season.
Well, I want to say, because something that I talked to Evan about when I kind of looked at the schedule. What's coming up is kind of a bye week because our next game is Monday Night Football.
Correct.
So if you're gonna make a change, like you said, it really depends on how we lose. Because I know there's a certain part of the base, which I get, of the fan base. It's like, hey, if you're gonna make a change, let's wait till the end of the season. Don't do it now, whatever. And then there's someone like me who's like, no, if Miami loses this next one, I would make a change now. And maybe that is pushing Anthony Weaver as your interim coach and see what you got in him. And then you have that time then to really start doing your homework and start looking up coaches and figure out what. That's damn right. I got it.
You got pictures and everything.
I got pictures and everything. Boy, I'm going to write notes. I got them all. I got college coaches, got assistant coaches, you got head coaches. I'm ready to go. This is me too. This ain't somebody. This is me. I'm doing homework. You're not going to pull up one name or two names out of my hat. But let me tell you. Let me just do the inactives very quick, and then I'd love to get Eddie. You could respond to what Alex said if you have any response. I saw you nodding and thinking about what he was saying. But just very quick, safety Malifonwu is out. Quinn Ewers, of course, the emergency quarterback. Two corners are out. Storm Duck, Juju Brents, Darren Waller, okay, Taj Washington, and defensive tackle Zeke Biggers. Sammy, you hear those inactives? Anything surprising to you? Anything stands out?
Basically a mix of everything we had the first 2 weeks because, Biggers was inactive the first week and Benito Jones was inactive last week because of injury. So they basically flip up, and then the corners, of course, that is basically the same. Waller is the sore thumb that keeps the Chris Greer gift that keeps on giving because, we had a chance to maybe make a run for Noah Fant or someone else that we just didn't. So that sucks. But as far as the inactive, no. There's no huge. Of course, what the players that we're missing are the ones that in your list. Of course, Austin Jackson and Daniels. That's the one. Those are the ones that hurt, but not the ones who are on the injury reserve. On the inactive sheet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Eddie, kind of going back on what Alex was discussing. Evan put this back in the private chat, so I found it here. Ian Rappaport on McDaniel's job security. Stephen Ross does not want to fire Mike McDaniel. He doesn't. He wants this to work. He likes him. He believes in him. He has invested in him. You hear that. What is your reaction to it?
It makes me laugh. I hope I understand it, but you have to move on from unproductive employees in every business, no matter what the business is. If you want to sustain something, he's supposed to be a great business owner. You would think if something isn't working, you'd have to make a change. If they lose this week, they need to make a change so you can get the head start that you need on the head coaches. I am not a proponent of leaving a head coach in just to finish a year at all. I don't think they will. I'm with Sammy on that. I don't think that's the way they're built. I mean, I know they got rid of Gase and was it Philbin during the year?
Yeah.
Okay. God, bad memories. But I would do it now personally. And one of the other things Alex brought up was, would he have drafted Tua? Absolutely not. He wants an RPO quarterback. That's what they cannot do with him. There is absolutely nothing. Tua looks so slow right now. It's unbelievable. I'm 55 and not in great shape. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can run to the corner faster than him, on to the sideline faster than that. But the other thing is Alex brought up, great point, organized. When he stepped out of bounds, they had that time where they were reviewing it. They had a commercial. They come back, and what did they do? They had to delay a game and a penalty. That's coaching right there. That's all coaching. That's not holding your players accountable for not being in the right spots or whatever you're doing in your head trying to think up the perfect play. Sometimes you just need to send a play in, no matter what it is. Just get it in, get it up. If you gain 1 yard, it's better than losing 5. That's my thought on it. As for the inactives, I guess that means Wright's making his debut because Wilson didn't get called up.
Good call.
There you go. Barry Jackson responding to that report, Evan. Interesting that Ian mentioned fans not showing up as a potential consideration for Ross. Big E, our friend, shout out to E, prayers up. He says there's a lot of people with quote-unquote inside information about how McDaniel could be gone after tonight's game. Be careful who you get your Fins news from. Ian Rappaport, I heard it from a janitor. So, Evan, you're hearing this. I know you're a huge proponent of keeping McDaniel. Like, It's been only 4 years. Like, you got to give him another 4.
It's his rookie season, Bobby. It's
his life goal. It's his life.
It's his senior season. He hasn't graduated yet. So you're hearing these. Where do you stand on like your reaction to them? Where do you stand on it?
I want to thank the players and coaches for their hard work throughout the 2024 season, as well as the fans for their support. As the owner of this team, I am ultimately accountable for the success and failures. We fell short of our expectations this season, and I understand and share the frustration and performance on the field. As we now look to 2025, our football operation will continue to be led by Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel with my full support. Their positive working relationship is an asset to the Dolphins, and I believe in the value of stability. However, continuity of relationship is not to be confused with the acceptance of the status quo. And that is not good enough. We will take a hard look at where we've fallen short and make the necessary changes to deliver our ultimate goal of building and sustaining a winning team that competes for championships. Now, how can you be a multi-billionaire, put that out, and then say amid fan unrest, and you see the crowd at that game, it was unbelievably putrid how empty that. Bobby, you and I can go. You and I could buy tickets, Eddie, Sammy. We could go right now buy every home game between now and the rest of the year, and it would cost us, on average, $30 US per ticket to get into that building. That is not normal for a football team. How could you possibly say amid fan unrest? That's horse crap. If they get destroyed tonight by 40 points, how could he actually look? The stadium's going to be empty against the Jets.
I'm going to say, though, I think, and I don't know if that doesn't sound like that's a direct quote from.
I know.
What I'm saying is, I think that if they, like Alex was saying, it's not when they lose, it's how they're going to lose. And if they do lose, like my prediction will be, and I'm sure you guys, if they lose some major way, I would not be surprised if tomorrow or Monday we wake up and we find out McDaniel has been let go. Because McDaniel, I'm sure, person to person, it's a likable guy. He seems like a likable guy that you could get along with, talk, whatever, not go drinking with, but just chill and talk or whatever, But as a coach, that can only get you so far. And, hey, man, I like you, but where's the results? I mean, it's not an accident that Jalen Ramsey wanted to get the hell out of here. It's not an accident that Calais Campbell wanted to get out of here. What?
Well, that's what I put in the private chat. There's a report that's coming out tied to Marcel Louis-Jacques that there was a report at the end of 2024 after the Jets game, because of the anger and frustration of how the season ended, McDaniel put it to the players that if you're not on board with the way we're doing things here, we're going to trade or release you. And how ironic, if you look at the amount of players that left this team, they were all veterans. Or the fact that, like you just said, Jalen Ramsey wanted to leave. Or the fact that Calais Campbell's no longer there. Deshaun Han was no longer there. There's a lot of the veteran players who have been in a lot of places that are no longer there. So I always told you, McDaniel and Flores had one thing in common. They were both stubborn SOBs. And that's the problem right now I have with McDaniel. My number one problem with McDaniel, which I've reiterated, is his inability or willingness to change. He believes his way is the only way. He sounds exactly the same as he did 4 years ago. All of us in our lives change and grow over time. Mike McDaniel has stayed exactly the same, but he's only gotten worse as a result. He doesn't grow.
And FinStanza, Evan, you said one thing, and I'm gonna counter it with one simple thing. I wish he would have stayed the same play calling wise at times with how aggressive he was.
For sure,
because
yes,
he's lost that identity, and it was the I do not care attitude of I'm gonna call the game my way, which sometimes went against the norms. When we even said it, why is he throwing it? Just run the ball or go every time. He would always go for it on fourth and one. He was always going for it. Where Nick Sirianni started that way. Obviously, he's a championship coach, but he maintained that way. My thing is with McDaniel, I know he says he doesn't care what people say, and I believe that partially because he looks like a confident guy, but I never envisioned that he would second guess himself in certain situations where if you're going to lose and I'm the head coach, we're going to lose my way. That's fine. But I'm not going to lose because,
So sorry, man. I just wanted before that comment moves up because I got you guys on the big screen. Scotty's saying that McDaniel has 2 local projects on hold. He says got a little bit inside info. McDaniel put 2 local projects on hold, meaning he isn't anticipating being retained.
So local projects like investments for himself, like
probably
okay,
at home projects,
Yeah.
But go ahead, finish your point. I just wanted to throw that out there. What's up, Daniel? Scotty, great to see you. Go ahead.
Look, man, the person that always knows when he's about to get fired always is the head coach. The head coach always knows when he's about to get fired. And he's not going to mention it. Obviously, he's going to keep his players together. There might be some surprise firings. We've seen some surprise firings, even for example, me in the NBA. But there's a vibe that you feel when everything unites, when the fans are booing you after your first drive, like when everything turns on you. There has to be something that, unfortunately, Stephen Ross has proven that he sometimes holds on a little bit too long at the right times because in his personal business, he's cutthroat. He's a businessman. I don't know if the Dolphins, I guess the Dolphins is like a sentimental purchase for him, that competitive edge, because we got to give it to him. He can build an empire. He's built an empire. He redid that area, Miami Gardens. He made it a destination. So granted, give it to him. He invested his own money when the county wasn't going to give him anything.
Yeah.
Perfect. But on a personal level, he stays a little bit too long sometimes and doesn't make the moves unless he's basically a necessity to make the move. Remember, he wanted Sean Payton, so I got to give it to him. He went for Jim Harbaugh. So he's had the right mindset at times. We missed out on Sean Payton. We got penalized even without getting Tom Brady, obviously because of the way it was executed in the special meeting on the boat and all that. So his intention is there. We know Mike McDaniel wasn't always a number 1 hire. He was the opportunity hire that came at that moment because, like you mentioned many times, he only interviewed with us. So it was either us or nothing. He was going to be an OC. And Mike McDaniel will be an OC again in this league. He is that talented. But it just comes down to if I'm going to go out tonight, the way I'm calling that game is Mike McDaniel first year. I don't give a shit. I'm going to go out my way. If we're going to get blown out, we're going to get blown out my way. You're going to fire me, that's fine. But I'm going to call the game my way. And I just wish it was that fiery Mike McDaniels from the first year. That's what I want to see today. I want to see that because you respected that coach. Even if he was quiet, he was a different type of leader, that's fine. But you respected that. Now, he looks like he doesn't have his house in order. Like you mentioned, Eddie, that play to me was a symbolism of these past 4 years. You had all the time in the world. I could have changed the play 4 times, and I still had enough time to call the play. And I'm ready. The moment they drop that ball and they put it there on the line of scrimmage, I'm hiking that football. That's how ready you got to be in that moment. And that just, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, man, this isn't going to end well. And we're here now.
So let's go ahead and go through the games here for the week, since we won't be on Sunday. I'll start with Sammy.
Let me get my app, Bobby. Let me get my
okay. Yeah, you want to stay close to what you're saying here. You know?
Yes. I don't want to go all over the place, Bobby.
If everybody wants to get what they've already put in. I know Alex asked me earlier, so
yeah, Sammy was able. I don't know what happened, man. I signed in and didn't save me on the group, and then when I signed in today, Sammy, I sent you a message. I'm like, I got 2 signings. I'm like, what the hell is this, bro? So I'm like, eliminate one, and I'm gonna start fresh right now, man.
Absolutely. For the Fins TV Pick League, it didn't happen to you. It happened to George and to Curtis. So both didn't lock their picks. I don't know if it's something with the app or something with the ESPN platform. Don't feel so bad. You were not the only one.
Okay. At least appreciate it.
So, all right. But we're going to get, after we go through around the league, we'll go ahead and go with our keys to the game. We'll talk about game predictions. And I'm seeing, first off, in the comments, just everyone tuning in right now. Sea Devil, Scotty, Daniel. I see you, New York Jets, Florida in there. Appreciate you. Everyone who's tuning in. If I missed you, forgive me. I have it in a different screen, but I see you guys in there. Awesome. Daniel says McDaniel's being scapegoated. We're going to have to answer to the below average roster, which it's a whole other topic, but we could get there.
Valid point.
You know, a below average roster that a lot of people are saying, playoffs, 12 and whatever. No. Again, and the way the Dolphins been playing on the field, that falls on your coach. We know the holes in this roster, but anyway. Packers taking on the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Sammy, who do you got?
I had the Packers on a landslide. I expect the Packers to crush. I love to say that word when it comes to the Browns, to crush the Browns on Sunday.
Eddie, do we see an upset in Cleveland?
You could. I believe they're going to overlook Cleveland. Cleveland's going to play well, but I think the Packers will pull it out at the end.
There you go. Evan? He's muted. Praise the Lord.
Oh, I like that.
I know.
Go Cheese.
I like Eddie, man.
Go Cheese. Go Cheese.
Right.
Go Cheese.
Alex?
Well, you already know I got the Packers going to the Super Bowl, so it's all about the Pack, man. Go Pack, go.
There you go. The Indianapolis Colts are 2-0 to start the season. I mean, my goodness, an impressive start for them. Of course, beating our Dolphins in Week 1, but they take on the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward, who are 0-2 in Nashville. Alex, does Cam Ward get his first win?
Unfortunately not. Cam Ward, to me, is going to be a great NFL quarterback, but not now. And I know for sure someone's going to overpay for Daniel Jones next year, but I got Indianapolis winning.
Evan?
Indy's 3-0. Unbelievable.
Eddie?
Titans might be worse than us, so
Here you go.
but with a better quarterback.
Yeah, way better quarterback.
Sammy?
I think the Colts have one of the best offensive lines in football. I think we underestimate the offensive line of the Colts, and they're proving that. So I think the Colts win.
I got the Colts as well, and I do have the Packers. The Cincinnati Bengals, without Joe Burrow, traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Sammy, who wins?
Do the Vikings have their quarterback playing on Sunday? Because I'm not sure.
No, he's out too. I'm sorry.
So
JJ's
neither
out as
team
well.
has their quarterback. So I'm gonna give the whole field advantage to the Vikings. And I said they're gonna say the Vikings win.
Eddie?
Well, I think only Carson Wentz, the only team he could beat was us when he was with the Colts, and he's not playing us. I'm gonna go the opposite of Sammy on that one.
Oh, okay. Evan?
Going Cincinnati. Sorry.
Jake Browning's a turnover machine. Van Ginkel, Brian Flores' defense. It doesn't matter what the offense does. This is going to be all about what the Minnesota defense can do to Jake Browning, who threw 3 interceptions in that game. Well, imagine what a week of preparation for the Vikings and Brian Flores. The Vikings at home will take the win.
Alex?
I'll counter that. I think Jake Browning now has a week of preparation with the first team in Cincinnati, and I think he's going to light up against the Vikings.
There you go. I got the Bengals as well.
Flores hater.
Evan, I have a autographed Flores picture if you want it.
There you go.
It's true.
It's true. It's standing right next to Tua, giving him a tap on the back. I can't believe
There you go.
That or the dagger. Whatever.
Yeah, one of them.
That or the dagger. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 1-1, taking on the New England Patriots. Sammy, did the Patriots go 2-1?
Yes, I think the Patriots go 2-1. I don't know. The Steelers are weird. They should be better when you think about it. They had the coach. They had a quarterback who's not in his prime, but should be good enough to manage the game. They had good wide receivers, but I have no confidence. So I think the Patriots should be feeling good about the Dolphins. So I'm gonna say the Patriots.
There you go, Eddie.
I really don't know anything about Pittsburgh this year. I mean, they look like they should be good with that wide receiver core, the defense, but I think Pittsburgh. Is it in Pittsburgh? It is, right? I'm going.
It's in New England.
It's in New England.
It's in New England. I'm going with New England then. I was just going to pick the home team on that one.
Evan.
I said it before, and about the Minnesota game, I'm going to take the Steelers because they have a much better defense. Much better defense than that's the best thing on the field. It's not the offense of the team. Is the Steelers will win this game just on the defense alone.
I gotta say before you go, I'm going to be rooting for the Steelers to lose every single day to see if Mike Tomlin gets fired. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I like it. Yes.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Bold strategy. I got the Patriots. I was really impressed with how Drake May has developed in that system and the way they're working. Obviously, their offensive line is young, but they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they have some nice offensive weapons. And I don't think the Steelers are going to be as productive as their names are.
Yeah, so I got the Patriots as well. I think I got the Patriots as well. I think they'll take it at home. Okay. I got someone sneaking in here trying to interfere again as usual.
Is it Tristan's picks? There's Tristan's picks. Hey, verbatim, I told Bobby the only person that is allowed to give Dolphin analysis or predictions from this point forward is that little man right there.
He'll come in there. We'll have him come in during keys of the game and the Dolphins prediction.
Perfect.
Just not now.
Just get backstage, bro. Go get your coffee.
Go get your coffee.
Go get your coffee and your cookies. Wait.
He took my coaching sheet, and that's gonna get lost. All right, you got the battle of the undefeated. You know that really pisses me.
That's gone. That's gone now. Forget about it.
Like, I have it on my desk, so I can start. And there it goes. Now I know. Like I'm gonna go. Where's that paper? He's like, I don't know. Watch. The battle of the undefeateds. Alex, the Rams taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Can the Rams beat the Eagles in Philly?
They cannot. They cannot. The Eagles are battle tested, man. The Eagles are battle tested. They won at Kansas City. I know it was a few miscues, but they got the rematch as well. They won again. So I think the Eagles, it's going to be a while before they lose this year.
There you go. Evan?
But the fact that this team gets the push every time, even with two guys going offside, the fact that Sean McVay literally tore a ligament and will be hobbling on that sideline, literally running down the field. Honestly, in Philly, they don't stand a chance. The Eagles will win.
He's going to be with that little walker, FinStanza. He's going to be with a little, just going on the side.
The tee up, right?
Getting tangled with a cord.
Eddie?
I'm going to go with the Rams. I think their defense is probably the best defense in the league.
Oh, I like that. Chris Shula, right? Isn't Chris Shula the D coordinator, or is he the linebackers coach?
No, he's a defensive coordinator. Possible future head coach. Possible future. We break the curse. Maybe. We don't know.
No first-time head coaches in this league. No more first-time head coaches.
But it's with the Shula's last name. You know, the fans will be like, okay.
Love the stakes, not the coaching, but I'm gonna go with when Shula is concerned. I'm gonna go with the. We're gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're mentally tough, and that counts a lot. They're a proven team. They're mentally tough, and again, another coach I would like to see making a move somewhere else, or moving on from the Rams to see somehow if I find a way to Miami. So I'm gonna root for the Eagles on this one.
There you go. I'm not gonna lie, Eddie has me going and it's kind of pushing me. I have the Eagles, but what Eddie was saying, because I'm a huge Braden Fisk guy. I loved him coming out of college. Jared Verse, those guys, that defense is legit. So I mean, Sammy, you got me. Almost wanted to press that button to flip it, but I'm gonna stay strong for right now. But you got me, brother. I go in with the Eagles though. The game,
That's what Eddie does. You know,
he does. I mean, it's like I had to think about it. The diarrhea green Jets, though, Eddie, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Could the Jets get the first win of the season?
No.
No. There you go.
I mean, I know their line is beat up. Tampa's is really beat up, but they still should beat the Jets.
There you go, Sammy.
Well, I have the Jets not winning on Sunday. I had the Buccaneers.
I got the Bucks as well. Evan, are we wrong?
As I said at the beginning of the year during our first week 1 predictions, the Bucks are the sleeper pick to come out of the NFC. They have an amazing wide receiver core they actually utilize. They actually utilize their run game. They have a guy who's been if you actually look at his stats, if you actually go look at since he got to Tampa,
Yes.
Baker Mayfield has better stats than Josh Allen in Buffalo. That's no joke.
That's incredible.
That's no joke. He has better stats than Josh Allen. So Bucks all the way.
Adam Gates was right.
Alex?
Hey, and to add to that, he has better stats than Mahomes. He has better stats than all the quarterbacks since he got to Tampa. So I'm going Tampa. He found his forever home there. And like you said, they're clicking on all cylinders, and their defense is improving as well.
Good for him.
The Raiders taking on the Commanders. Alex, who wins that one?
I got the shock here, and the Raiders are going to take this game. I think Gentry's going to go off finally.
I have the Raiders as well. Evan?
The Raiders played on Monday. They're just not a very good football team. They're playing in Washington. The Commanders will take it.
Sammy?
West Coast team going to the East Coast. I know I'm going to say the Redskins, damn it. The Commanders are not, the commies are not at their best, but I'm still going to pick the Commanders.
All right, Eddie.
Picking the commies.
They are commies. They're the Redskins, damn it. It depends if Daniels or whatever his name is, the quarterback. Now I'm lost.
Jaden Daniels.
He plays or not. I want to go with the Raiders, but I think Washington will win at home.
I think with Gino and Genty, I'm just going to go with them. I think they're going to pull it off. But I'll stay with you, Eddie. The Atlanta Falcons traveling to Carolina. Carolina down 0-2 on the season. Can Carolina get their first win against Atlanta?
They could if they played like they did in the second half of that game. Yeah. Will they? No, I think Atlanta will beat them.
Sammy?
No faith in the Panthers whatsoever. I think the Falcons look good on Monday night, was it? Or Sunday night? Sunday night. So I'm going to pick the Falcons.
Evan?
Bijan Robinson, there's a reason why he's a top fantasy pick. They're actually utilizing him to help grow Michael Penix. Maybe Mike McDaniel could go talk to Raheem Morris and maybe have a conversation and realize that when your quarterback is limited or new or young or not sure what he's doing, utilize your powerful running game. Unlike the kicker, I actually know a lot of players on that team. I found that kind of funny that he didn't know who Leonard Floyd was, a pretty good football player. but yeah, the Falcons will win that game easily. Because that's, like Eddie said, the Panthers might be worse than the Dolphins. And that's saying something.
Alex?
If there's one thing that's working for the Panthers, their defense. But I still think the Falcons pull this off in a close game.
There you go. All right, got the Houston Texans 0-2 traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Can the Texans get their first win, Alex?
I think they can. I saw firsthand Trevor Lawrence. He has a lot of accuracy issues, and that's why I dropped him as my fantasy quarterback. So I think the Texans are going to pull this one off.
Did you drop both Tua and Trevor?
I dropped Tua and Trevor. I ain't cutting you this year, man. There's no BS, bro. I'm about to fire myself. So I'm good, man.
Evan?
Duval.
Duval. Duval.
I don't know if he said it was like that.
Duval.
We're
trying it. You're trying to make it that bad, and we can't. We can't.
We can't.
I don't know if your kids do it at home or Alex does it. You know the whole 6-7 thing? That's
yes, bro.
Yes.
6-7.
Some highway. Always. Oh.
Duval.
6-7.
Oh gosh. All right, Eddie.
I never picked Jacksonville. I hate that team.
Me too.
It costs me all the time. That's why I have to buy direct, or they not used to be Direct TV, the NFL Sunday ticket, because the Jaguars have to be shown on every road game, so I can't see Miami locally. So I hate the Jaguars. I hope they lose every game and move to England, but they're not. They're getting stadium paid by us, unlike the Dolphins stadium.
Are they? I didn't see that. Okay, good for them.
So I assume you both are. Sammy, I'm going to say it for you. You got the Texans.
Yeah, but has it been a bit fall like CJ Stroud? Man, that guy was heaven on earth on the first season, and so many mistakes. I'm not sure if Bryce Young is even playing better than CJ Stroud right now. So much criticism on who was the first pick and who was the second pick. I don't know, but I'm still, having said that, I'm picking the Texans.
What's up with this guy with the Lakers? What is this?
Yeah,
What is this kid doing with the Lakers shirt?
He's in a Miami Heat household.
Get out of there, bro. Bro, give up this kid for adoption, man. What is this? This is crazy.
What is? I just saw. I'm talking to you guys. I was like, looking at the screen. I'm like,
Lakers. It's like, who bought you that shirt? Who purchased that shirt for you?
My grandma forgot to take this off. I didn't want to wear this to school because like legit when I was recess, I was like, everybody was like, Tristan, I thought you liked the Heat, and I was like, and the Miami Dolphins, and I was like, I do.
he didn't realize. He put it on this for you. He didn't realize that's what he's saying. That's hilarious. I thought you liked the Heat. I do. What's with the shirt? Oh,
sir, your son took off her shirt. He hasn't put it back on. It's like, what was it? The Lakers shirt. Okay, I respect that.
And then my friends be like,
all right, so I got the Texans as well. We got AFC West battle. You got the Denver Broncos taking on the Chargers at home. Can the Chargers go 3-0, Sammy?
Broncos.
Yes, it can. Just because they're at home, I have the Chargers.
All right, I got the Chargers as well. Eddie?
Oh, the jersey. The jersey took him away.
He had Justin Herbert.
He's a magician.
He just disappeared.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Evan?
I called them at the beginning of the year to win the NFC West. Chargers take it.
There you go. Alex?
Chargers.
All right, keeping it real. I got the Chargers as well, even though that's to be a fun game, and I just love watching that division.
Oh my God,
that's the game of the week for sure. Yes.
Guys, you should see the scores that the Amazon Prime guys put up. Like,
I'll let you say. You could say the scores before we make our predictions. That way, we could see where, or maybe after. That way, we don't get polluted. Alex, Saints 0-2 taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Can the Saints get their first win? Will they get their first win?
No, they will not. They look like they're in disarray. Obviously, you're missing your quarterback. Well, you're starting Rattler, but Seattle's defense is improving, and Seattle's at home. I think it'll be a close game. It's going to be a low-scoring game. There's been a lot of low-scoring games this year, but I got Seattle taking this one.
All right, Evan.
Seattle, Sam Darnold's doing well. The team has been playing well the first two games, even with one loss. They're still playing overall well. I like the way they're going.
Eddie.
Seattle.
There you go. All right, I got Seattle. Sammy, are you going to break it?
I don't know if Eddie's in the chat, but the Dolphins are not getting the first pick because the Saints are getting the first pick, and the Seahawks are winning this game.
All right, we got the Cowboys taking on the Chicago Bears. Sammy, can Chicago get their first win?
Yes, I think the Bears winning. I don't know. The Cowboys is quicker to get by a thriller against the Giants. That game was ridiculously close. Won by a late field goal. I don't know. Right now, the Cowboys are basically having the same curse as the Dolphins, the coaching curse, the losing curse. The stink is on the Cowboys right now because of the race. I have the Bears. Bye-bye.
In case anybody wanted to know, Tristan's going Cowboys. He keeps nodding at me. I'm like, what? I'm going Cowboys. I say, all right, cool. Eddie, do you agree with Tristan?
I do agree with him.
Say what, Eddie? Sorry.
I agree with him. I think the Cowboys
Eddie agrees. You got the Cowboys. Sammy has the Bears. Evan?
The boys.
Alex?
How about them Cowboys? I got them taking it as well.
All right, Alex, they win with you. Arizona 2-0, taking on the 49ers, also 2-0. Who gets the first loss?
Arizona's going to get the first loss. 49ers, with all the injuries, are like a well-oiled machine. And McCaffrey's pretty healthy so far, and his production is going to go up. And by the time this team gets back Kittle, Ayuk, and Purdy, they're still going to be probably top of their division. So I got 49ers.
Evan?
Cardinals.
Ooh, okay. There you go. Eddie?
Nice.
San Francisco.
All right.
With
Same
Mac
way.
Jones. Yuck.
I wanted my Jones to go too. I think he did a good job
Yeah,
on Sunday.
me
So
too.
I say the Cowboys. I'm sorry, the 49ers. You got me.
Same
The
with you.
Cowboys.
You got the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 0-2 New York Football Giants.
Wow.
Can it happen? Will the Chiefs go 0-3?
Oh, I expect the Chiefs to shake it off, if you know what I mean. So I have the Chiefs.
Eddie?
That's a good one, Sammy.
There
That's
you
a good one.
go.
I see what you did there.
I just threw up in my mouth a little, Sammy. Thanks. No, even though the Giants played well last week, I'm the Chiefs.
There you go, Evan.
Isn't it ironic that the two most future coaches to start off the season were the two top one? Well, two of the coaches that the Dolphins were interested in, Dayball and McDaniel. The Giants don't stand a chance. As well as Russell Wilson played last game, the Chiefs will not go 0-3. Not a chance. Not a chance.
I got the Chiefs getting in as well. Now, Alex, Detroit Lions taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Who do you got?
Oof, this is the game of the week, man. I got this is going to be a shootout. I got the Ravens pulling it off.
Evan?
This all dependent on where the game was playing. Because it falls in Baltimore, Ravens take it.
Eddie?
I got the Ravens at home, but I hope Amon scores about 100 points for me this week.
There you go. There you go. Sammy?
This was my Super Bowl pick. Ravens versus Lions. I flip-flopped so many times during the week. Probably a flip-flop before Monday, but I'm going to say right now the Ravens.
There you go. I got the Lions. And, man, this game is going to be great. I'm going to be watching this game closely because if Miami does let go of Mike McDaniel and if the Dolphins say, hey, we're looking at rookie coaches, their eventual successor might be coaching in this football game, whether on the Lions or the Ravens staff. But I got the Lions winning this one. And Lions, of course, I have going to the Super Bowl as representing the NFC. All right. So, Alex, I'm going to start with you because maybe you could liven up the mood for today before today's game as we get to draw closer to Week 3 Thursday Night Football. Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Prime time. Alex, if the Dolphins win, what are their keys to victory? Give me 3 keys to the game for the Dolphins to pull out a upset.
Number one, you have to start off strong. You cannot go down double digits. You gotta score on your first 2 possessions and have stops on your first 2 possessions. That's how critical I think this is if they're gonna win, if they're gonna pull this off. Number 2, the defense has to improve. We have not been able to stop anything. We looked a little bit functional towards not even towards the end. The ending of the second quarter, starting in the full third quarter. So you kind of saw them kind of getting that machine a little bit up, but then it struggled again towards the end. But I think if the defense, if the front 7 could provide pressure on Josh Allen, there might be a chance here for some miscues. So defensive 7 up, the front 7 have to be strong, have to get into the pocket, have to flush Josh Allen out of the pocket. The cornerbacks will be tested. Fitzpatrick has to step up as well. He's been cleaning up a few of the things. I already mentioned the strong start. And the most important part here, Mike McDaniel has to coach his best football game of his life in order for us to pull this out. We've been close in Buffalo before. We haven't gotten blown out in Buffalo. The last couple of times we played in Buffalo, even in the playoffs, they've been close. So this is something that if you want any chance, like I mentioned before, Mike McDaniel cannot be afraid. Mike McDaniel cannot second guess himself. He has to be that fiery Mike McDaniel from the first year if we're going to have any shot to be explosive and to win this game. We have to be explosive. We have to rely on the running game. Rely on your playmakers. Get the ball to your playmakers.
Evan, keys to victory. 3, please.
Stop James Cook. I'm not worried about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going to do what he has to do. You can't stop him. He's an enigma. Can't stop him. Stop the run. Take that second option away. Be dead serious about that. I'm not worried about the defense on this team. It's about the offense today. No pre-snap penalties, no holding penalties, no penalty from the offensive line. I don't want to see one the entire game. And throw the ball deep. Their secondary is as bad as ours. Throw the ball to Waddle, throw the ball to Hill. I want the ball down the field. I don't care. Turn it into a punt for all I care. But turn it downfield. And 3A, I hope they lose the toss and they get the ball. Because if they give the other team the ball, they're going to fall behind and then they get demotivated. And like Alex said, they need to get a lead. So those are my 3.5 keys to the game. And now I'll pass it on to Eddie since Bobby, the leader of the show, can't pay attention.
Yeah, sorry. Eddie.
Can't pay attention. It's crazy.
I think it's all on the offense. The Bills are down, I believe, Milano and Ed Oliver and another defensive lineman and one of their corners. So the offense has to score. I'm with Evan and Alex. They need to put points on the board, try to limit Buffalo to field goals once in a while and not touchdowns. You have to stop Cook. He kills us every time. Every time. It's more him. And when my biggest key is when it happens to every team, when he breaks the pocket and goes to the sideline, everybody start going the other way because he's throwing it the opposite way because he can. Josh Allen. Just covered. Just hold him to field goal, stop Dalvin Cook, and score some points. That's my 3 keys.
Perfect. Easy enough. Sammy?
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. It's going to be – I don't want to be a prophet of disaster, but 2 of Tua's concussions have come against the Bills.
Yes.
They play him hard. Milano and Hamlin was the second time. They played him hard. They know that if they Tua out of the game, like the old days between the Giants and Joe Montana, if the Giants took Montana away from the game, they were winning the game. So Tua's an easy target. If protect Tua at all costs, for me, is number 1. If that doesn't happen, they have no chance. Win the turnover battle because we know the Dolphins just don't make turnovers, and we have to take possessions away from the Bills. So they have to find a way to get a turnover, to in either way, an interception, a fumble, something crazy happens. That would be number 2. And number 3, hope for a miracle because I don't see a chance in hell that the Dolphins can finally win the game. So those are the 3 keys to the game. Probably the third one is the more important one, other than protecting Tua at all costs.
I like that. I think all you guys are right on the money. I do have, but I think Evan is right on. I do have contained Josh Allen because obviously you saw what Dan Jones, you saw what Drake May did to Miami using their legs, extending the plays. You got, I want to see pass rush. I want to see what these guys can do. I want to see what these guys have been advertised that they can do. So I'd like to see them contain Josh Allen, but Evan's right. The bigger one is James Cook. So I will concede to that point. Running the football, run the ball, get Ollie Gordon involved, run the damn ball. It has to be more than 11 attempts. But with the third one, I'm going to say this. Evan and I had a lot of fun post game. We went back and forth. Get the playmakers involved. Draw up the plays to get the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And yes, Devon Achane. But Tyreek,
No.
Shut up. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle have to have the ball in their hands to help you score points. So get your playmakers involved. McDaniel, do your job. Tua, stop being so chicken shit. Get the ball to Tyreek and Waddle. All right. I told Evan to hold off on giving us the scores of everybody else, but I'm going to let Evan go ahead and tell us what the NFL Network or the primetime game guys have.
Most of them had it either, Chris Thompson, I believe, had 35-10. Most of them had it either 31-14, 31-17, 35-10, 35-13. Like, it was all 2 touchdowns or more. Like, basically, there's a 14.5 point spread. Pretty much the Bills are going to cover it.
All right.
Bills are covering the spread tonight.
Evan, you are on the clock here. You're on the board. You're on the screen. What is your final score prediction?
45-10 Bills.
Hold on, let me get that down. Let me write that down. So I don't want to lose it later.
45-10 Bills.
Evan, 45-10 Buffalo. All right. I'm going to go with Eddie now. I'm going to leave Alex for last.
All right.
Just because.
I
Let's
got
see.
I got 42-21 Buffalo. Miami actually leading at halftime and then not score a point after the half.
Ooh,
He never makes adjustments at halftime.
Okay, so you said 21 for Miami?
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
21.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Eddie. Sammy.
What's your score, Eddie? Say it again.
Eddie had it 42-21.
I had it 41-17.
Okay.
Bills.
41-17 Bills. All right, Alex.
This game is going to come down to the last possession. Bills will be up 28-27. Dolphins will score, and we will win 34-28.
Love it.
There you go. I love it. All right. I knew he was going to do it.
Never disappoint, man. Never disappoint.
Yeah. 2 weeks I've picked Miami to win. 2 weeks they've let me down. I think if I choose them to lose, maybe, just maybe, they win the game. I have.
Doesn't work.
I know.
Eddie tries that every single week.
Keep taking the other way. I have it 48-16 Buffalo
Christ
over the Dolphins.
Just getting
What was
mocked,
that? What was
bro.
that? What was your score?
48-16.
Wow, you're as bad as me.
Jesus. You wrote my score down,
48-16.
right, Bobby? 34-28
I did,
Dolphins?
yeah, 34-28
Okay,
Miami. I got it all written down for post game right after.
Perfect.
We will be live for everyone who's tuning. We got almost 230 people watching right now from X, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. We appreciate everybody tuning in wherever you're watching from. If you're anywhere other than YouTube, hop on over, hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. We Evan and I, maybe a couple others, depending on how it's going. Will be live immediately after the game to react, win, lose, or draw, no matter the hour. We will be live. The youngest one is screaming in the background for some reason. If you cannot hear that for whatever reason,
She's fine.
she's fine. She's just spoiled rotten. No. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. And join us immediately after the game. Adrian, the Rainy Day Podcast, in the comments. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel, Rainy Day Pod. Of course, Sammy of Fins TV. Sammy, tell everybody where they could find you. Talk about Fins TV. What plans you got coming on?
Well, we're back on Fins TV next Tuesday. We're gonna have Antoine from New York Daily is gonna be joining us to preview the Jets game, and of course the Fins TV crew. And next Tuesday we're back on Fins TV Plus on FTSN. With Eddie and
Eddie, where can everybody find you, brother?
Just Eddie Chaput on that's CHAPUT, my last name. French Canadian, by the way.
Montrealer.
I'm just on X.
Does he know that?
What's that?
You're
Canadian,
Montreal,
right? Yeah, I
live in Montreal.
He figured it out, bro. He figured it out.
I figured it out. When you sounded like Chris Jericho, I figured you were from Canada.
But I'm from Montreal, born and raised. So.
But yeah, that's it on X. Just Eddie Chaput. And I'm
All
on.
right.
I'll be on with Sammy next Thursday.
There you go. And if Evan, we know where we could find you. We know you live in Montreal. You said it 5 times in a 10-second span.
My second home is Florida. Yeah,
It is.
There you go. Where can people find you?
Go to Florida when I say I'm going to.
Whatever that means.
Oof.
Whatever that means.
Oof.
Where can people find you on X, bro? Jackass.
At FinStanza. That's all where you can find me. At FinStanza, or me roasting and tweeting everything Bobby does. Anytime Bobby tweets something, I'll just retweet it and say something stupid.
There you go. And Alex, where can they find you?
You can find me right here. I'm right here, Bob. I'm right here. I didn't know you were looking for
With
me.
the stars.
I'm right
in
here,
the dark.
So anyway, that was Alex. He was great. How about you find some lights, bro?
Well, I don't know what happened today, man. the light usually is on and it's just off.
The dark like that. It's amazing.
But yeah, you can find me at AJ_Atia87 and here at FTSN.
There you go. Oh man! All right, that about wraps. Sammy, you're muted.
DMB?
What?
Did you make the trip to the DMB?
Did you make the trip to the DMV
Oh.
yet?
No, not yet.
You
No.
better.
Are you
Evan
driving
said he
in?
might not go. You better talk to Evan.
I
He said he
will go.
wouldn't-
I will go. if you
Evan
go.
said he wouldn't go. He said he's to meet me in Atlanta. He wants me to go to Atlanta now. He's trying to make me do other things.
Oh,
That's what he told me.
boy.
So
By the way, I know the reason I said that is if Mike McDaniel's still the head coach by the time the Chargers come, I might get arrested and Alex may need to bail me out of jail. If I might jump the field.
We'll make a pool. We'll make a pool.
there you go. There you go. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you for watching the Fins Talk pregame show here on FTSN. Evan and I will for sure be live immediately after the game.
Yes.
Win, lose, or draw, no matter the hour. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe. Most importantly, Dolphin fans, as always, no matter the record, Fins up. See you guys next time.